So this morning's class is going to be our Yoga for Mindfulness class. And we've been working a lot with the seasons, and especially as it's this season change between autumn and winter over the last few weeks. And to really help us kind of become mindful of our body, we're going to work today with our intention. And our intention for our practice, but not just for our practice. You might actually have your own little mantra or anything that you use on a regular basis. And I've been talking about a little bit through the week about our sankalpa. So our sankalpa is our heart's desire, something that we kind of want in our lives. Well, it's something that we sort of aspire to. And that might be, if you're suffering from any illness, so that's to be healthy. It could be anything really. So it's anything that you desire, and that's always a positive thing. So it's not I want to, I want to do this or I want to do that. It's like when we think of our sankalpa, it's very much about being in the here and the now, as if it's actually already happening. And our intention is almost like the road to the destination of the sankalpa. And we can have an intention for all of our lives. It doesn't just have to be for our yoga practice. And we're going to think about, I want you to just to take a moment, just to think about what you really desire in your life at the moment, in your family's life. And just thinking about your heart's longings, your heart's desire. And this time of year, as we move from the autumn, we've just moved from autumn coming into the winter season, it's a really good time to kind of set intentions, because often this is considered to be the end of the year and at the end of autumn. And then as we move in, then we're coming into in a lot of traditions, it's considered the new year is coming up through into like December, when we kind of have this time of rest and stillness at the end of the year. But it's a really good time. So even though it's not a great time for doing lots and lots of things, it's a really good time for kind of thinking about what we want to do, what we want to achieve, maybe the coming year. So if we actually have that in mind as we go forward throughout this winter time and then into spring, as we come into spring, then our plans and actions can really come into fruition. And our dreams and our desires. And this really comes hand in hand with our mindfulness as well. So just being mindful of what we want in our lives. Because so much time, our life can be relentless sometimes. It can be frantic and exhausting. But it doesn't have to be this way. If we have intentions and desires that we want to work towards, that can allow us really to, when we're mindful of our practice, mindful of our bodies, mindful of what we want, then we can actually sort of just drop back into just being, and not kind of like criticizing ourselves so much, because we give ourselves so many things to do. Because this is a time for kind of resting and to being still. So mindfulness reveals almost like this set of simple but powerful practices that you can incorporate into your daily life, just to help break this cycle. Maybe anxiety of not achieving what we want to do, exhaustion because we're kind of running around trying to do everything but not really focusing on what we want to do. And it's very easy. When we kind of let go of all that, we can find this happiness as well within us. So let's just bring the hands. So the breath is going to be our anchor today. So let's just take the hands onto the belly and feel that breath in the belly, that rise and fall. expansion, that contraction of the body here. And start to listen to the breath. Listen to the sound of the breath. And feel your body, just feel how your body feels on the earth here. As we breathe into it, how it expands and contracts. So thinking about your intention or your sankalpa and just repeating that to yourself just 3 times. 3 times now. And we're going to keep coming back to that throughout our practice today, this morning. And we're going to use that mindfulness within, excuse me, within our practice. Let's bend the knees, take the feet onto the floor. And as we take the feet onto the floor, really press down into the earth. Feel the soles of the feet open here, spread those toes, and just notice how the back moves. And if you need to adjust the back at all, just adjust into the back. Oh, excuse me. Think about those shoulders just moving away from the ears. Slide the hands just down onto the floor. So you feel make contact with the earth underneath your hands. Take a nice long deep breath in. And then as you exhale, just roll the lower back into the earth. Just pressing that lower back in towards the earth. And as you breathe in, just breathe in, tilting through that pelvis so that we're not lifting as yet. We are going to lift in a moment. And then as we exhale, just lowering the back into the earth. And then as we breathe in, tilting back. So just getting a little rocking movement through the pelvis, keeping those shoulders relaxed. Now this time, roll into the lower back, press into those arms, lift the hips up high, maybe even walk the shoulders down towards the feet. Pull those shoulders away from the ear, elongate the neck so the neck is nice and long. If you've got anything under your head, just making sure that you've removed that. And then breathe in and just rolling down, soften through the shoulders, through the ribs. Just roll through the lower back, dropping down into the hips, press into the heels. Take a nice long deep breath in, press into the feet, press into the hands, breathing in and lifting all the way up, open up into the chest. Really press down into the feet, make sure those knees aren't going east and west, press down into those big toe knuckles. And then exhale and just roll in all the way down. And let the hips come all the way through. Keep that chin tucked in. Take a nice long deep breath again, breathing in, roll through the lower back, press into the arms, press into the feet, lifting all the way up. Press into the arms. Now bring the hands together underneath you, so binding those hands, drawing those shoulders and really opening into the heart and the chest center. Breathe here, just a few nice deep breaths. Press down into those feet, lift those hips. You don't have to come really, really high, just so you can feel that work into the quadricep muscles in particular. And then exhale and release those arms and just rolling down, just one vertebrae at a time. Bring those knees in towards the chest. Hug the knees in, lift the head up towards the knees. Take the knees out to the sides. So we're taking the hands onto the knees, take them out to the sides. Circle round and through, bring those knees together. Exhale, lifting the head up towards the knees, circling it round. Let the head drop down, pushing those knees away. And again, breathing in, lifting the head, bring the knees together, lift the head up towards the knees. Take those knees out to the sides, circling it round. Move into that sacrum, bring the knees into the chest. Keep the head onto the floor. We're going to take the knees back into the opposite direction. So we're going to circle them all the way out. As they come together in the center, just bring the nose up towards the knees. Push. Oh, excuse me. Push the knees away. Oh dear. And then just circling those knees nice and slowly. So we're not going really fast. We're just moving with mindfulness and slowness, just feeling how everything feels, lifting the head up. Oh dear. And then from here, bring those knees in towards the chest. Let those arms come out towards the side. Drop the hands onto the floor. Let the knees drop down over to the right hand side. Looking over to the left. Keep those shoulders dropped. And just breathe into that side waist here. And then breathing, come back to the center. Exhale, easing over to the left-hand side. Drop that right shoulder and just looking over to that right hand. And then again, breathing in, bring those knees back to the center, roll through that sacrum, keeping the chest and the heart open by dropping those shoulders deep into the earth. Drop the knees over to the right hand side, look over to the left. Stretch out into those fingers. And then from here, breathe in. And coming back to the center, roll through. And then let those knees drop over to the left-hand side. Look over to the right. Keep those shoulders relaxed as you just drop through the body. And then breathing, come back to the center. Hug those knees in towards the chest. Lifting the head up towards the knees. From here, we're going to just rock up, coming into a seated position. From here, just crossing the legs, and you can sit on a cushion if you want to. And as we lift, think about having an active lift through the body. So we're really lifting up. We're kind of activating through our core, lifting through the chest. Take a nice long deep breath in, lift both arms up towards the sky. Link those fingers and push those hands all the way up. Drawing the shoulder blades all the way down the back. And then from here, we're going to breathe in, opening those arms. Draw those hands round behind you. Now link those fingers round behind. Roll the shoulder blades down the back. Lift and open the heart. Exhale and fold forward. Let the head come down towards the earth. And the arms come up towards the sky behind you. And then from here, breathing in and lifting all the way up. Taking both arms up towards the sky again. Stretch all the way up. We're going to take the left hand down and just easing over with that right hand. Just dropping that left shoulder away from the ear as we twist through the body slightly. So this right side, open all the way through the right side. Look to the right arm. Now just watch that shoulder, draw it away and down the back. And then breathe in, come up, keeping that arm up towards the sky. Let that hand just come onto the head, and let the right ear just drop down towards the right shoulder, just picking up the left hand. We're just going to feel that stretch and take that left hand back slightly as well. So we really feel that we're opening into this left shoulder joint. And then breathe in and lifting that arm all the way up. Taking that right arm down, we're going to take the left arm, stretch the left arm up and over, stretching through. And again, keeping that left buttock on the floor, rolling through. Keep those shoulders drawing down. And then breathe in, lifting up. Come back to the center. Then allow that left hand just to draw onto the neck. Put it, the left ear comes down towards the left shoulder. Just lifting that right arm up and slide that right arm slightly back. So we feel we're opening up into that chest. And into that shoulder. Lift the chest and the heart. And then from here, breathing in and bringing that hand all the way down. Link those fingers around behind again. Roll the shoulders, lift and open the heart. So we think about those shoulders. They often come forward, so I want you to really roll them back. Draw those arms away from you as you lift and open up into the heart space. And then exhale and just easing forward. So as we ease forward, we're going to come up onto the knees and we're going to roll through. And we're going to reach those arms out and forward. Drop the tailbone all the way back down towards the earth. Stretch out into those arms. And the knees are slightly wide. And as the knees are wide, then we can just allow that belly to drop down. As we just stretch out those arms, drawing the chest and the heart down towards the earth. Now lift onto those fingers and really feel that you're bringing that chest forward a little bit further and letting that heart come down towards the earth. As we breathe in, we lengthen. And then as we exhale, we just drop through. And then breathing in, lifting up. Now you might find, because we've really reached quite far forward, that the hands are slightly further forward, and that's fine, because we're going to think about where the hands are. We're going to take our elbows down onto the floor there. Pushing the tailbone back, and just dropping the chest and the heart down towards the earth. Feel that lovely stretch out into the shoulders, keeping those elbows quite close towards each other, so we're not, well, they're shoulder width apart. And let the chest come all the way down towards the earth, pushing back. And just holding it here. Feel that stretch into the shoulders. And think about underneath the armpits and into the ribs as well. So get that chest down towards the earth. Now from here, we're going to breathe in. We're going to come forward. Bring the nose over, or the chin comes over those fingers. And then exhale and pressing all the way back. Press the tailbone up towards the sky. And then breathe in, chest comes forward. Now make sure you don't kind of collapse here. Keep pressing up between those, that space between the shoulders. And coming back. And breathe in. And stretching through. And breathing, come forward. Okay, lovely. So making sure, if you feel your bottom, when you come forward, if your elbows are too far back, you're going to be kind of pitching over those hands. If they're quite way forward, you come forward, and that makes it a lot easier on that shoulder girdle as well. And we get a really good movement through those shoulders. Now, tucking those toes under, we're going to push the tailbone up towards the sky. Let the head just feel nice and loose. Walk in a little bit. Pressing into those elbows. Just lifting into that dolphin pose. Make sure we're not kind of collapsing through. I want you to really feel that the back of the shoulders are pulling into the waistband. So they're lifting. Usually I say keep the shoulders down, but now I want you to lift those shoulders up and back. Lovely. And then from here, breathe in, just walk back a little bit. Exhale, bring those elbows down onto the floor. Pull the chest and the heart forward. Now we're going to take the left arm and just thread that left arm underneath the right arm. So we're just going to thread. So we've got a good distance still. And then bring this right hand onto the floor and really lift that right shoulder up towards the sky. So we feel that we're getting that twist and that rotation. So the right hand's on the floor, the left hand's on the floor, both hands on the floor as we twist through. Press into the right hand, lift the right shoulder up. Now slide it back a little bit. Keep those hands in the same position, but slide the weight back. So we're not sitting right back on the heels. We just come back towards the knees a little bit. And then feel that how that twist changes and looking up and over that right shoulder. And then from here, reach the right hand forward, come up. And then we're going to thread the right arm through. Press into that left hand. And as you press into the left hand, lift that left shoulder up. So rather than it coming forward, we're really lifting it up. And then if you want, you can slide back a little bit closer so the bottom comes down towards the heels as we stretch through. And twisting, and really lift that left shoulder up towards the sky. And then from here, come back onto the hands, onto the knees. Pull the chest and the heart forward, tuck in the toes under. I'm going to round through, push the weight back and lift that tailbone up towards the sky. Pressing into the hands, lifting that tailbone, and just paddle through the feet as we open up through those hamstrings. This is a good time to come back to our intention, because if we keep coming back to our intention, we're kind of reinforcing, and it becomes a pattern for us in our mind and in our thoughts. So pushing that tailbone all the way up towards the sky. Lovely. And then come right up onto the tips of those toes. So we stretch through, open the chest and the heart. From here, we're going to just bring the right foot slightly closer in. Lift that left leg up towards the sky, stretching it through. Exhale, we're going to curl that knee in, but just be nice and slow and careful how you do it. So you're not kind of taking the weight into those shoulders. Breathe in. Lift that left leg up, come onto those right toes. Exhale, left knee comes in towards the chest. Take that left foot and place that left foot in between the hands. Roll the shoulder blades down the back, open up through the chest and the heart, drop into the hips. So we feel we've got a nice long length through the body here. Bring the back knee down onto the floor and let that back foot come flat. So we're into a nice deep lunge here. Breathe in, sweep both arms up towards the sky. Draw those arms up into Ardha Chandrasana, press into those hands. And feel yourself we can lift up as we kind of bring the arms up, and then let yourself sink down into it. So we kind of really get a good stretch into this right quadricep muscle. Now just check in with those shoulders. So the shoulders up by the ears. If they are, just let them drop down a little bit as you draw the arms back. And think about the chest and heart rolling up towards the sky. Now open the arms, sunburst the arms out. Excuse me, take those arms back. And the hands aren't clasping together, just pressing back. Roll those shoulders, lift the chest and the heart. Exhale, hinge forward. Let the body hinge forward. Take the right hand down, slide, sweep that left hand forward. And we did this yesterday, so kind of drop the hip and then exhale and let that left hand come forward. Drop into this left hip, and that increases that stretch into the right side. Circle that arm, and exhale, rounding through. And breathe in, circling that arm all the way up. Exhale, coming through. Just bring the hands down onto the inside of that left foot. Pull the chest and the heart forward. And we're sinking down a little bit deeper. Keeping that chest and heart coming forward. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Now pick up that right foot, so that right knee lifts. Keep that chest and heart forward. We're going to bend that right leg so it comes out to the side. And maybe walk that left foot so it comes in line with that right knee. We're going to breathe in, sweeping that right arm all the way up. Take the right hand onto the right hip, and the left arm's going to come up. So the right hand comes onto the right hip, left arm comes up, and kind of sink into that left knee just a little bit as we stretch all the way through the body. And then from here, breathing in, come forward, let the left elbow come over, and the right arm comes up and over the head. Press into this left foot. Really, again, roll the shoulders. Watch out for this right shoulder coming up to the ear. Pull it away, twist through the body. And then from here, breathing in, coming up. Now turn the toes towards the long side of the edge on that left leg. Stretching into the hands. Now you might need a block. You might want to have a block around. I've got a block stitch. I'm just going to pop down to the end of the mat. So I'm going to take the arms wide, drop the right hand, but still keeping those toes. The tendency is to let those toes to face down towards the short end of the mat. We're going to keep them into the long end of the mat. And we're going to open the chest. And as we open the chest, I want you to think about rolling backwards so that you kind of feel that that chest and heart's open all the way up towards the sky. Lift up out of this right shoulder. Get that back bend. So we're kind of rolling back, opening the chest, opening the heart here. And then from here, breathe in, lifting all the way up. Turn those left toes, so they left foot toes come towards the short end of the mat. Lift those toes up, and then we're going to just ease over. Just come into Parigasana gate pose. And again, it's the same thing. We don't let that arm drop in front. The arms up and over. Pull the shoulder away from the ear. And allow yourself just to sink down. You can bring those toes down. You can come right over if you want to, but you can be here as well. So wherever you are on that little arc, just holding in. Then from here, exhale, lifting that arm all the way up. That right arm comes up. Turn those toes towards the long side of the mat. Take that right hand down onto the floor. Extend that left arm up towards the sky and taking that arm kind of over, but take the hand behind the head and the elbow still comes through. Roll the left shoulder up towards the sky. Make sure we're not sinking into that right shoulder, and the chest and the heart pulls forward. And then from here, taking that left arm, take the left arm all the way down towards the earth. Spin on that right knee, just be careful and lift back into your downward facing dog. Press into those hands and just walking through the body, letting the head release. And then come up onto those toes, bring the chest forward. And again, shoulders away from the ears. Feel that intention in your body and find that intention for that length from the heels to the crown of the head, almost like traction in your body. Bring the knees down onto the floor. Chest and heart comes forward. Lower the chest down towards earth. Point into those toes. Breathe in, lifting up. Open the heart. Holding it here for a moment. Not too high. Exhale, release the head all the way down. Nose comes down towards the earth. Breathe in, lifting up again, not so high. Look over the right shoulder. Pull that left shoulder away. Exhale, come back. Look over the left shoulder. Pull the right shoulder away. Breathe in, come back to the center. Let the head release all the way down. And then breathe in, lift the chest up high. Come onto the knees. Push back onto the heels. Bottom drops onto the heels. Reach those arms out in front of you. Think about scooting those fingers forward. Just imagine like pond skating. You kind of scoot those fingers forward as far as you can. And then from here, breathe in. Lift up onto the hands, onto the knees. Slide those hands slightly back if they're a little bit too far away. Pull the chest and the heart forward. Tuck in those toes under, lift through the belly. Pushing back. Lift that tailbone high. Let the head hang. And then again, just paddle through those feet. Press into those hands. Now think about those shoulders pulling back. So the ears kind of like pull. If your ears are kind of like halfway down your arms, pull them up towards the shoulders, and then the shoulders kind of pull back towards the waistline. From here, bring the left foot slightly in. Lift that right leg up behind you. Sweep that right leg all the way up. Exhale, bring that right knee in towards the nose. Curl it round. Breathe in, push that right leg, and really feel that extension. If we're up on those left toes, we can kind of lift that right leg a bit further up towards the sky. And if you look slightly forward, you can feel that real length. And then as you exhale, it's kind of a bigger movement as you bring that knee in towards the nose. And then breathe in, lifting that right leg all the way up onto those left toes. Exhale, bring that right foot forward. Place that right foot forward, down in between the hands. Roll the shoulder blades down the back. Bring the back knee down onto the floor, letting the shoulders just roll down again. So as we work with the shoulders, it allows us to open up into our heart space. From here, we're going to breathe in, lift both arms up towards the sky. Reach those arms up, and as we reach the arms up, think about dropping down into that leg a little bit. And as we kind of drop down to that leg, think about this circle, the chest opening, the heart space opening, and the ribs are kind of moving. You're looking slightly up, so as the arms come back. And then exhale, open those arms. Take those hands around, just draw the hands back, and as you do, kind of open the chest a little bit more, shoulders rolling down, open your hearts. Be mindful of your breath. Let that left hand come all the way down towards the earth or onto a brick if you're using a brick. Circle that right arm, comes forward, drop into that left hip, and then kind of like moves. You're moving the left hip slightly lifts up. And as you circle, the left hip drops down towards earth. Circle it through. And then breathing in, coming forward. And exhale, circle it all the way around. Breathe in, bring that right hand down onto the floor. Lift that left knee up and sink into those hips. Walk this right foot into the midline as you turn that left knee and the left foot out behind you. Breathing in, lifting that left arm, circling it all the way around. Bring that left hand onto the left hip, press slightly into that left hip. Bring that right arm up towards the sky. And then looking up towards that hand. Now think about this left shoulder. Pull that left shoulder down away from the ear. So we feel this lovely muscle. It's called our sternocleidomastoid mastoid muscle. And then just lifting and lengthening. Open the toes. And then from here, breathe in, bring the right elbow down. Bring that left arm up. And again, shoulders away from the ears. So we feel this chest and heart space opening as we stretch all the way through. And breathe. Roll those ribs up towards the sky. So we're not kind of leaning forward a bit. We're rolling back. But watch this right knee. Pull that right knee back as well. Press down into that little toe and the big toe of the foot. We stretch and open into that left side of the body. And then from here, breathing in, we're going to come through. Now you might want to have a brick underneath the hand. We're going to come all the way back. Turn those toes so they face the front edge of the mat. And we're going to lift up and stretch. And because we've kind of elevated onto this brick here, we can turn those ribs up towards the sky and stretch and draw that arm back. Keep those shoulders away from the ears, rotating through. And kind of got that lovely back bend going on there as well. Make sure you're not pressing too hard down into this brick. And then from here, breathing in, lifting all the way up. Now turn those toes up towards the sky. Exhale, easing all the way over. You can bring the toes down if you want to. You can keep the toes up, or you can even take a cushion or a block underneath that right foot, keeping that right leg straight as we ease over into Parigasana, gate pose. And then breathe in, lovely, good. And then coming all the way up. From here, we're going to just move that block. From here, lifting, taking this right hand, lift it up over the head. Take that right hand underneath the hand so that elbow comes through. So you can feel that stretch from the right hip all the way up to the right elbow. And just draw in that body all the way back. And then from here, taking that right arm, circle that right arm all the way down towards the earth. From here, push back into your downward facing dog. Press into those hands, lift the tailbone high, and just paddle through the feet, letting the head drop, thinking about your intention, thinking about your body. If your intention is something here, I want to be healthy and strong, and then listen to your body. Because sometimes we kind of just push through it without really being aware and mindful of our breath, of our body. Come forward, ripple forward into your plank. Bring the knees all the way down onto the floor. Pull the chest and the heart forward. Exhale, lower the chest all the way down towards the earth. Let the hips come through. Breathe in, lift the chest and the heart up high. Roll those shoulders down the back. Exhale, releasing all the way down. This time we're going to breathe in. We're going to come up high again. And look over the right shoulder. Come back. Look over the left shoulder. Come back to the center. Exhale. And releasing all the way down. Breathing in, tucking the toes under. Push back into your downward facing dog. Turn that left toe, the tailbone up towards the sky. And just paddling into the feet. And then come up onto those toes. Walk those feet, or you can step or jump in between the hands.
And releasing the head all the way down here. Breathe in, lifting the chest and the heart. And then exhale, release down. Hold on to the elbows. You feel the weight. Just dropping that weight down into the earth. Hold those elbows and maybe sway a little bit from side to side. Just take a little rock from side to side. And the weight of the elbows drawing you down into the earth. And then bending those knees, breathing in, lifting those arms all the way up towards the sky. Stretch, lift those arms up. Draw those arms back, past the ears a little bit. Open the heart. Exhale, letting those hands come all the way down, round behind the back. Roll the shoulders down the back, lift and open the heart space. Breathe in. As we exhale, we're going to fold forward. Now you can bend those knees here as you come forward. Otherwise, just ease in through, letting the head. And if you've got your knees bent, once you're down, try and rest the belly on the thighs and then look to straighten into those legs if at all possible. Let the arms come over the head towards the earth. Open up through the soles of the feet. And then breathe in, drop those hands down towards the earth. Now from here, if you want to, really think about lengthening into the legs. So if you find your body pops away from your thighs, just keep those knees bent, letting the head release down. So as we breathe in, we lift the chest and heart, roll those shoulders. As we exhale, just easing back. Bend those knees, breathe in, sweep those arms all the way up towards the sky. Drawing those arms back towards the ears. Exhale, take those hands round. Just taking them back, push the hands back, and as you do, open the chest. Keeping that body nice and long, bend those knees, drop down, lift those arms up into Utkatasana. So when we come into our chair pose, so it's also known as fierce pose. So Utkatasana, chair, fierce pose. And we can feel it. So you can you can take the arms out in front of you, or you can lift those arms up above the head, pulling back into that tailbone here. And then breathe in, standing tall. Exhale, taking those arms. Think about what's happening with those shoulders. Take those hands back. Draw the chest and the heart back. Exhale, bend those knees, keeping that length in the body as you lower down. Sweep the arms through. So it's a nice, easier way to come into Utkatasana because you're kind of there. And then the gravity and the levers is kind of what makes it harder. So we're kind of already there, and then we lift those arms forward. Press into those feet, pull up through your core. Breathe in, lifting those arms all the way up towards the sky. Lift in and lengthening. Exhale, let those hands come down. Same thing. Draw those hands back, and as you draw those hands back, the shoulders kind of press down into this lower back. Lift in, open the chest, stretch back with those hands, bend those knees, keeping that chest nice and long, and then lift those arms. So we've got that lovely stability through from your tailbone all the way, so like from your tailbone through to the head, the crown of the head, as you're dropping back and down. Listen to the sound of the breath. Be mindful of your breath here. And then from here, exhale, let those hands drop all the way down towards the earth. Just drawing the hands down, pull that tailbone back, lifting the chest and the heart all the way up. From here, we're going to take this right leg, lift the right leg up behind you. Chest forward, press into those left toes. Bend that right knee and maybe push that right leg up a little bit higher towards the sky. And then we're going to exhale, bring that right knee in towards the chest. Keep that knee bent. And then you can use a block here if you want to use a block as well to give you a bit of elevation. Lift in the chest, lift that right leg up. Exhale, come through, bring that right knee in towards the chest. And breathe in and lift in that leg. Keep that leg bent. Now bend the left leg. So we've got the left leg bent and the right leg bent. And then we're going to straighten that right leg and step it back. And as you step it back, think about it being in line with that right heel. So the instep of the left foot, right foot, is in line with the left heel. Take this right arm, sweep that right arm forward. Exhale, circling it all the way up, bring the left hand up. Look down to that right hand. Keep the shoulders dropping down as we come into our exalted warrior here. Open the chest. Roll that shoulder down the back. Bend a little bit deeper into that left knee. From here, we're going to take this left hand, bring it round to the right hand, link the fingers behind, roll and open the chest and the heart. Dip a little bit deeper into that left leg. Keep that length as we did in Utkatasana. You know, we kind of kept that length as we came forward. So we're keeping that same length here as we drop. So we're not completely collapsing over that left leg. And then from here, let the arms lift up into our humble warrior pose. And think about the chest and the heart going forward rather than kind of collapsing into it. And the shoulders are really rolling back and that chest and heart is open here. Exhale, sweeping those hands down onto the inside of that left leg. Good. From here, we're going to come onto that right toe. Bring that right hand onto the floor. Bring that left hand forward. Sweep that left arm up and over. Look, bring that left hand round behind the back and look over that left shoulder here. So we're looking up towards the sky, keeping that body nice and long. Drop into those hips here. Bring that right knee down onto the floor. Lift that right foot and then maybe extending that, left hand out towards the right foot. Roll that left shoulder back. Roll that right shoulder back. You don't have to hold on to that foot if that's not happening. That's fine. And then from here, keeping that foot lifted, bring that left hand down onto the floor. Walk the hands slightly into the center. Bend that right leg like we did before. So we come into our gate pose. Breathe in, sweeping that right arm all the way up and over. So this time it is going to come over. Take the right hand down onto the floor. Lift that left arm up. Draw that left arm back. So then roll the body up towards the sky. Watch this right shoulder. You might need a block underneath that right shoulder. Then from here, we're going to exhale. We're going to lift the knee, bring the elbow and the knee together. And then as we extend out, extend along one line, keeping that left leg lifted. So we exhale, left elbow to right knee. No, sorry, left elbow to left knee, not right knee. And then extend it out. And then back and push. Nice and slowly, don't go too fast. Exhale, coming in. Breathe in, press out. Bring that left foot onto the floor. Bring that right left hand down onto the floor. Coming through. Keeping that left leg, left toes tucked under. Push up. Lift that right leg up towards the sky. Now bend that leg and open up through that hip. Pressing into those hands. And then from here, come forward, bring that foot to join the other foot. Bring that chest and heart forward. Bring the knees. You can come down through chaturanga if you want to. But if you don't want to, bring the knees down. Bring the chest down. Slide the bottom. Lift the chest and the heart high. You can be in upward dog here or keep it in cobra. Roll those shoulders back. Exhale. Release the body down towards the earth. And as we come down to the earth, just notice what's happening with those shoulders. They're probably kind of coming forward, so pull them back and away, down, away from the ears. Taking those hands back, and the hands face up towards the sky. And as you kind of pull the arms back, the chest starts to lift anyway. Lift the feet off the floor, lift the chest off the floor, spread into those toes, spread into those hands in Shalabhasana. Hold it here, lifting those legs, lifting the chest. We don't have to come up really high, but if we can, keep those legs straight so they're not bent. Holding it here. And then exhale and release all the way down. Just let the hands come by the side of the head just for a moment. And keep those shoulders might be falling towards the ears, pull them back and down. This is a nice space just to check in with your intention for your practice. Just feel the body melting into the earth here. Bring the hands back towards the ears, tuck those toes under. Breathe in, lift the chest, push up, push back into your downward facing dog. Letting the head hands spread into those hands, head nice and loose. From here, bend the knees, walk, step or jump in between the hands, releasing the head all the way down. Bend those knees, breathe in, lift those arms up towards the sky, stretching those arms all the way up. Exhale, bring the thumbs into the heart. Samastiti here. Spreading those toes, lift through the body. And then from here, lifting those arms all the way up towards the sky, stretching those arms up. Exhale, come forward. Now let those arms sweep back behind you. Bring the chest down towards the earth, keeping those hands lifted up so we're now diver's pose. Bend those knees, pull the chest up, lift halfway up into Utkatasana. Lift, sweep those arms all the way through. We're just going to do one on this side. Spreading those toes, holding your body nice and strong through your core. We're going to hold it. We're doing one, but we're holding it for a lot longer. So we're breathing in, drop the tailbone. Think about that length. So we're not pushing the bottom out, and we're not kind of tucking the tailbone under. We're keeping that length and strength in our body. Drop down a little bit lower. Exhale, let those hands come all the way down towards the earth, or bricks if you're using bricks. From here, we're going to lift the left leg up towards the sky. Lift that left leg up behind you. Bend that left leg, press that sole of the foot up towards the sky. Good, lovely. Now from here, feel the chest coming forward. And then as we exhale, bring that knee in towards the nose. So we kind of curl up, bring the knee into the nose. Pull up through, think about working through Uddiyana Bandha slightly, and Mula Bandha. Breathe in, taking that leg up. Keep that leg bent, so the leg's still bent. Exhale, bring that bent knee in towards the nose. Curl it through. Really feel you're lifting up through your core, so you kind of draw back. And then breathe in and taking that left leg all the way up towards the sky. Now bend that right knee, and then we're going to step back with that left leg. Drop it all the way back with that left leg. Line up the heel and the instep. Breathe in, lift that left arm, reach forward with that left arm. Sweep in that left arm. Be careful as you go. Bring in that left hand. This left hand can come round. And we're just easing through. Bend into that right knee, reach into those right fingers. Nice and strong. Now from here, bring that right hand round, link with that left hand, roll the shoulders, keep that chest and heart open. Exhale as we come forward. Try to keep that body long, so we're not kind of pulling those shoulders towards the ears. And then we're kind of pushing back into that left foot, coming forward with that right foot, dropping that right shoulder down, lift and open the chest, lift those arms all the way up. And then exhale, let those hands come down towards the earth. Come onto that left toe. Bring that right arm forward, sweep, dropping that left hip. And then we're going to come through, bring that right hand down onto the earth. Bring that left knee down onto the floor. Lift that left leg. Sorry, I got muddled up there. So from here, we're going to left hand down to the floor. We're going to lift that left leg up, sweep that right arm all the way up, hold onto the left foot. Pull in the chest and the heart forward. Really open up into the body. Little back bend here. Feel that stretch into the quadricep muscles. And then exhale, let that right hand come all the way down. Keeping on that knee, rolling all the way through. Lifting that left arm comes all the way up and over. Bring the left hand down to the floor, or onto brick if you're using a brick. I've got one there, so I'm going to use it. And then lifting that right arm up and over the head. Stretch into the fingers, stretch into the foot. Keep the shoulder blades away from the ears. Take a nice long deep breath in. As we exhale, bring the right elbow to the right knee. And then keep the right foot off the floor as you kind of extend through. And then exhale, coming through. And breathe in. And exhale. And one more time. Stretch through. And exhale. And then coming all the way through. Let that right hand come down to the floor. Come onto those toes, those white toes. Push back into your downward facing dog. Breathe in, come forward. Either lowering down, chaturanga dandasana, sliding into up dog, or coming through into cobra. Exhale, release the body all the way down onto the floor. And just wiggling so you feel that you're nice and even, and the chest is coming forward and the shoulder blades are rolling down. And feel the breath shaking into those legs. Take the hands round behind. Breathe in, lifting the chest. Now bend the legs in Shalabhasana. This time we're going to hold onto the feet and we're going to lift the chest up. And as we lift the chest up, so bend the knees, lifting up into Dhanurasana. Pull those shoulder blades down the back, lift up out of the neck. Make sure we're not leading with the chin. We're balancing on, I've got lovely close-ups of you all there. So balancing on your belly. And I can remember when I first started, I always say the story in the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, the ancient text, they always say that doing Dhanurasana just it means you'll live forever if you do this every day. So they're quite extravagant claims. And then from here, breathe in and exhale and releasing the body all the way down. Let the head rest, let the arms rest. Maybe shaking through those hips a little bit. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. And then from here, just turn the head. Let the hands come underneath the shoulders. Bring the feet slightly together. Roll those shoulder blades all the way back. Lift the chest into a really nice cobra. Tuck the toes under. Push back into plank. Back into downward dog. So it's kind of like a counter pose for that strong forward fold that we've just done. Then bring the knees in towards the chest and down onto the earth. Pull the chest and the heart forward. Exhale, round through. Sit back on those heels. Drop the hips down. Extend out into those arms. Just holding it here for a moment. Just allow the back to come back into the opposite direction. Breathe in, slide the hands all the way back. If you don't like sitting like this, maybe change your seat. Lift both arms up towards the sky. Keep those shoulders dropping down. Lifting both arms all the way up, linking those hands, push those arms up towards the sky. Pull those shoulders away from those ears. Exhale, open those hands. Bring the hands round behind you. Link the hands, draw the shoulders back, open the heart. Exhale, bring those hands forward. Just imagine that you're holding a big round ball. Roll the lower back, and kind of rolling through the chest, so kind of get that little movement. Breathe in, opening the chest, bring those hands round. Link the hands behind, lift the chest and the heart. And then exhale, and round through. It's kind of a bit like a cat movement again, isn't it? Without doing cat. And then breathe in and bring in those hands round behind, lifting them and opening the heart. Then from here, we're going to take those knees a little bit wide. Bring the feet forward, extend those legs out in front of you. Just letting those legs move along the floor. And sitting on your tailbone here, or you can sit on a cushion or a block or anything really. And then lifting those arms up towards the sky, stretch up into those arms. In our Dandasana, press into those toes. Exhale, taking those hands round behind you. Draw the hands back and kind of lift the chest forward without pushing the chin forward. And then we're going to exhale, just come down as far as you feel comfortable with those arms back. You might find it a little bit easier, but the shoulder blades are pulling back and your body's coming down. Then slide the hands either side of the knees. Pull on those hands and coming down. Shoulder blades might want to come up towards the ears. Just keep rolling them down. Bring the elbows maybe onto the floor. Keep rolling those shoulders down. You might even be able to bind onto those toes with the shoulders rolling. Don't lead with the chin. And then just come into Paschimottanasana, seated forward fold. And it doesn't matter whether or not you're right down or whether you're right up here or right down here. Wherever you are on your path, that's absolutely fine. And then breathing in and lifting all the way up. Take those hands slightly behind you. Lift and open the chest. Roll those shoulder blades back. Bend those knees. Pull the chest towards the thighs. And then cross the ankles. And then roll forward. Bring those arms around both knees. Let the head drop down between the knees. We just feel ourselves nice and curled up. And then from here, lifting all the way up. Drop the knees further out into an easy pose, either Sukhasana or Siddhasana. Shoulder blades, lift them up, roll them down. Turn the palms up if you want to. Let the eyes close and just take a moment just to center here to ground.
And just listening to the sound of the breath expanding in your heart center here. And then breathe in, lengthen, exhale. Just allow the chin to drop down towards the chest. And breathe in and lifting the head. From here, we're going to lie down in Shavasana. If you want to today as well, maybe you can think about elevating the chest and the heart center. So I'm just going to I've got a long pillow, and I'm going to take my other pillow. You can use a bolster. So as I come down, my chest is just slightly elevated, my shoulders are opening, and my palms are facing up towards the sky. But it's nothing too aggressive onto my back at the end of this lovely practice. So let the shoulders drop down, let the feet drop open to the sides. Make sure you're nice and warm on this cold day. And just take a moment to really settle your body here. Just take a moment to feel your body releasing down into the earth. So just feeling yourself letting go here. As we lie here, just bring your awareness and your attention to the movement of the breath in the body. Just allowing yourself to release, to let go. And once we feel we're kind of settled, I want you to expand your attention just to take in the body as a whole. As if the whole body were breathing. I just want you to be aware of all the interior landscapes of your body. So the lungs, the heart, your belly, the hips, your internal organs. Just breathing and just allowing those organs to kind of like drop down. Letting the breath settle at the back of your body. I just want you to spend a few moments now just practicing mindfulness of the breath and the body. And maybe use that breath to anchor your body down into the earth. And if your mind wanders, that's fine. Just draw it back into your breath, just with kindness and awareness without judgment. And then just taking a few moments to be still, to be quiet. to release, to relax, and to let go. As we lie here, bring your awareness back into your body, into your breath, into your mind. And just very gently bring some movement to your fingers, to your toes. Allowing your body to awaken here. Stretch and move, just do what feels right for you at this moment. And as we lie here, just be aware of your intention, your sankalpa, your intention. Just repeating it to yourself here. And then when you're ready, just bringing the knees in towards the chest. Just rocking the knees from side to side. And then letting the knees drop over to the right-hand side. Draw the knees up, drop the jaw down. And when you're ready, just rolling into a seated position. Taking your time. Sitting nice and tall, relax those shoulders. Breathe in, lifting those arms all the way up towards the sky. Stretch those arms. Bring the palms together. Exhale, bring the thumbs into the heart. Look down towards the fingers. And then breathe in and lift in the head. And thank you very much for your practice today, ladies. I hope you enjoyed the class and have a lovely day. Om Shanti.